Welcome back. One Allen County Dog Warden Julie Shellhammer is with us today with the most chillaxed dog you'll ever meet. This is Astro, right?
Yeah, we know that from his microchip, and that's all
And that
we
was the
know.
only thing, that was the only thing updated on it, right?
Okay. The owner's information was not updated, so we don't know who he belongs to.
Right.
It has to be somebody right there in the city, though, near Sugar Street by the Quarry, because he was actually found down in the Quarry.
I saw on Facebook, and he was found, and there was kind of a daring rescue made to get him out of there, right?
Yeah. Yep, they rappelled down, and the Lima Fire Department went out and got him out of the Quarry, and he's no worse for the wear, appears.
He must not have struggled, because I saw them carrying, and there was an officer carrying him out, or a firefighter. He was just like, okay, yeah, I'm getting out of here. That's great. It's good training, I suppose, too, for the fire department. They get to do some rappelling. Yeah, okay. He came walking in. I said, he's got a very low clearance there. I'm thinking some basset hound in there, right?
He is a basset hound, yeah. At least mostly. Don't know what he's mixed with, if anything, but he's got some skin issues going on. They're healing nicely.
Okay.
He's a senior, but he's such a good dog. He gets along with all the other dogs at the office that we put him out with, and he's just a great dog.
I think about wintertime, boy, you wouldn't need an extra blanket if he was laying up on your bed, would you?
Nope.
He's going to generate. Okay. What's the adoption process? What do we need to do? Is he ready then?
He is ready to go. Since there's no owner, no license, and no way to contact anybody. Nobody's called in for him.
Okay.
And he didn't have a tag on, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's ready to go, and he's a senior. I think his adoption will be sponsored, so they'll just need to get dog license and follow up with any additional medical or anything that he would need. But he's a little maybe overweight, but really healthy dog.
He doesn't seem to be hurting him at all. He likes to get around. He's doing his thing. He's a happy dog.
Yeah, he's a very good boy.
Excellent. Okay, well, speaking of some unhappy dogs, you had some bite calls over the weekend, and we talk about this time of year that happens.
Yeah, and I keep saying, socialize your dog well and train it and get it spayed and neutered. All of those things really help with the testosterone and the aggression. And most of the dog bites we had 4 people bit on Saturday and 1 on Monday. So we had 5 dog bites on just in a 3-day period. All
different ages, kids and...
Yep, kids and adults, different areas. Luckily, I don't think any of this was real severe, but a dog bite is very dangerous. Different breeds of dogs, different everything. So it applies to everybody.
Right.
Make sure you socialize well and train them. And if you're going to have them outside, be out there with them. You make sure you can't reach the sidewalk. Things like that. A fenced-in area is great as long as the gate's shut.
Sure.
Kids opening doors, and as it gets warmer, I know we haven't had real warm, but I think it was warmer over the weekend. And that's when we start seeing more dog bites. So it's very dangerous, especially for children, but it's very dangerous for anyone to be bitten by a dog. Yeah,
and you've mentioned too, and I think a lot of us are guilty of this, even if you have your dog in a fenced-in area, if it comes right up to the sidewalk or the edge of your lawn, this time of year your dog can have some behavior things going on because there's a lot going on, and I think all of us have seen that, where you think you know your dog, and sometimes it might get a little rowdy. You gotta be careful.
It acts one way with you and completely different if you're not out there with it. So it can happen that way very easily.
Yeah, get stressed out. Yeah. The other thing you've talked about too is kids are especially walking to and from school, they're right at that dangerous level too, that height. Yeah.
And it's especially dangerous if you have some kids that don't respect the dog, and they may throw something at it or pick on it, and then, the next person that comes by may get bit just from being aggravated. Kids going back and forth from school. It could happen daily, and you need to teach your kids respect as well.
Yeah, that's true. It's a two-way street. We've had people email and ask before if you're maybe some advice for if you're a child or an adult, for that matter, because the dog's instinct is to chase whatever's running, and I think sometimes we get scared and we see that, and you run away, and that's probably a bad thing to do.
For us. And I go into schools, and I just started again. I've been to a couple of schools already this year, and I'll have several more scheduled. And I try to teach the kids to use a backpack, keep something between you and the dog. If you're riding your bike, get off your bike and keep your bike between you and the dog. Sometimes there'll be a trash can sitting outside. Anything to keep between you and the dog. And don't run. It is a natural instinct for a dog to chase.
Sure.
So if you scream and run, the dog is definitely going to chase, and then you can fall, and then you can be bitten a little bit easier than if you stay calm. Give dog commands. This goes for adults or children. Nice, firm command. Most all dogs know how to sit. So stay, no, sit, any nice, strong, firm command. Yeah, become the pack leader all of a sudden. There you go. All right. Well, let's find Astro home. He's a great pup. Yes, he is.
Good seeing you, Julie.
Thank you.
Don't go away. Medical news coming up next on Noon.